What's going on, guys? Gilly in the house, about to give you my raw, unfiltered, unchecked thoughts on Disney's new TV show, She Hulk. All right, let me start off by saying that I've always been mesmerized by, fascinated by, heck, even in love with the concept of She Hulk. Okay, so my first introduction to the character wasn't in the traditional sense. I didn't grab a copy of her comic off the spinner rack simply because I never really saw a copy of She-Hulk out in the wild. There was usually Spider-Man, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, everything, but She-Hulk was just one that I haven't seen. But interestingly enough, I first laid eyes on She-Hulk in a Marvel Swimsuit Edition magazine. Yes, those were a thing, and they were awesome. Okay, I just thought they were awesome. Now, a certain Joe Jusko image just captivated my imagination on the raw beauty that is She Hulk. Everything is encapsulated in that one picture. Okay, what's not to love? This big, tall Amazonian green skinned goddess of a creature that can crush you, but also has an innocent sex appeal, if you will, on the character. She just the concept of a She-Hulk, I just think is amazing. And it wasn't until years later that I'd come across John Byrne's run on the character, and man, oh man, what a nice little run it was. Byrne does a masterful job of making She-Hulk likable, vulnerable, and downright awesome. His run also does a great job of playing with that whole self-awareness shtick. It was hilarious when I read it. I remember laughing out loud. And for me, Jen Walters, she never came off as a smarmy or condescending or naggy at all. In the comic, for me, she was brazen and fun. So let's fast forward now. Disney Plus got this new She Hulk show coming out, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely curious to see how Disney pulls this off because I haven't been wowed by Disney TV as of late. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100. Like I said, I shoot from the hip. I'm a gunslinger.
I'm your huckleberry.
It takes a lot of skill to make characters that are this cool become this lame. After watching the first episode of She-Hulk, I will admit there's a lot of bright spots here. Tatiana Maslany's casting isn't way off, and she has moments during the show that tap into that Burn energy from the comics with her like breaking the fourth wall and stuff. And I think that's actually handled quite well. I like the spin on how she gets her Hulk powers from Bruce, and it's not as it was done in the comics through a blood transfusion. It's more of this, gritty car accident that happens where this alien cruiser ship seems to literally just run him off the road. And I like how, when it comes to Jen Walters, how like genetically the mixture of Bruce's blood and her system it adapts to the point where her Hulk powers differ in a positive way. Actually, like she could actually be herself in Hulk mode, whereas Bruce Banner, he's kind of like wrestling with his alter ego at times.
Hey, Banner. No Banner, only Hulk.
But now let's get to the one issue I do have. Oh, well, the two issues I have. Okay, so the issues I have with the show after seeing the first episode primarily stem from Jen's actual character in the show. She comes across as a snappy, snarky, irritable bitch.
I have been analyzing your blood, and the way it synthesized gamma, I was able to use it to completely heal my arm.
Oh, because I'm better than you?
It's just basically different.
In a better way.
Bitch!
I'm not you, and I'm not gonna become you. What do you think you're doing?
I'm asking you to reconsider.
Done. Yes, I've reconsidered. I'm still leaving.
Jen?
Basically, I was right and Bruce was wrong. Okay.
Son of a bitch!
I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, okay? And I get there's room for character growth and you can have these type of personality traits in a character, but we're talking about Disney here, okay? You know, their resume hasn't shown me that they can handle this kind of depth in a character or this type of nuance. I mean, one reason Byrne's She-Hulk run was such a blast was because we're seeing She-Hulk kick her ass out of like these crazy precarious situations with great sex appeal and great aplomb. She's just nailing it. And aside from Muslani's character, you know, being a selfish priss, she handles her newfound Hulk abilities like a boss. And that's my problem. Like, she does it while pretty much mostly walking all over the Hulk. There's one cool part where the Hulk's the Hulk is kind of training her. We're supposed to see her gradually like be one with her Hulkness, I guess. And they're throwing a boulder, and he throws it, and she outdoes him in that. And okay, he goes right back, and he literally throws the boulder outside the atmosphere. That was so cool. I'm like, this is what we need more of in comics. I like the one-upmanship, and I can get behind that. But she's like, there's a moment where Hulk does his Hulk clap, and she's like, okay, I can do that. And after one failed attempt, she literally is like clapping to the point, you know, where the Hulk is on his knees, like almost like in the fetal position. It's like, come on, come on, you know, this is the Hulk for crying out loud. Don't have her outdo him like habitually. I mean, that's not fun.
You guys have outgrown your binder, cuz.
I mean, I get it, Disney, strong female, but we're talking about the mother Hulk here. Is it too much to ask to give your female characters weaknesses that they can actually grow to overcome? I mean, we've seen it with Elle in Stranger Things. You know, she's not just suddenly in beast mode. Like there's a process. And lastly, this is my major gripe with the first episode. Can we chill with the cringeworthy feminazi ideology injections into the show?
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Like, really? It's not necessary. We don't need trite, woe is me, monologue diatribes about catcalling, mansplaining, and how women can't express their feelings without being called emotional or possibly being murdered for it. Come on, just stop. And in my honest opinion, I have a hard time believing Muslani's being catcalled. Okay, like that's just me, okay? I've done a lot of catcalling in my life. Now, She-Hulk, okay, she'll be catcalled all day, okay? All day. But if you must address the catcalling, do it organically through the show. Have an obnoxious little dude just catcalling away, just like incessant, right? Nonstop. And show Jen holding back her anger, right? Until she suddenly bursts into She-Hulk, lifts the dude up over her head by his ankles, you know, dangling him from left to right, and she can yell like, all right, you got my attention, now what? And he can just gulp and be like, can you please put me down? Like, She-Hulk's such a character that you can have so much fun with, and she can be lovable without making her insufferable. That's all I'm saying. Because the comic nailed that pretty well. Anyway, guys, that's my take. The show started out decently. But could we please axe the feminist cringe speech going forward? Like, please, pretty please. I'm here for the entertainment, not lectures. Okay? I think it has the potential to be outstanding. But I don't want these super pro-feminist monologues to like knock me out of the entertainment. If you see my channels, you know I have no problem with a strong woman. I, as a comic book creator, have created very strong female characters, okay? So it's not about that. It's just let's have a great show and let's do it without pushing anybody out of the space. This is Gilly Raids Comics. Till next time, guys, geek out.